Hi, this is Danielle with the Vastport, and I'm so excited to be sharing this information with you today. Today I'm going to cover some information, and our topic is called Find the Money for Your Next Airplane Ticket in Your Pantry. Now, I don't know if you had a chance to watch Nicole with the Vastport this past Tuesday. She shared some tips on travel tips, because our mission and goal here at the Vastport is to see you travel more. We know that so many people are just run down with work. They either don't have the time or they don't have the money, and they just don't make travel a priority. And we know that traveling is going to reduce stress and bring more happiness into your life. So our goal on Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time every week is to bring you valuable information that's going to show you how you do have the money to travel. So today I'm going to focus on the money that's in your pantry that you don't even realize. Moving forward, watch for our videos every single Thursday that are going to build on top of this one that are going to help you save money. Now, before we get started today, I just want to share a little bit of information with you. My husband and I have been married for 2.5 years, and we wanted to plan our wedding, go on a honeymoon, and have all of these things moving forward in life. And you just get buried down in the week-to-week expenses. And have you ever felt like you feel like you're getting ahead, and then something just throws you back? And it was really hard for us to set up a savings account. So we stumbled across some information that showed us that we might be overspending in our food budget, and that it would be a powerful way to be able to draw back and start a savings account just from overspending. So I just want to share some numbers with you. In the last 32 months, my husband and I have been able to pay off over $118,000 in debt, and it simply started with the food that was in our pantry. This morning I was compiling some statistics on the amount of time people spend at the grocery store and how much money they spend. And I just want to share something with you really quick. I was actually, in the bathroom doing my hair this morning, and I was scrolling through Facebook, and in my newsfeed popped up this image that someone shared. And it says that the average American spends $15 a day eating out. That's $450 a month. Including drinks, it's about $600 to $750 a month. So that means in 2 months, you can buy a ticket to anywhere in the world. You can afford to travel, you're just too lazy to cook. Now, I thought that was funny because it's a little harsh, but those numbers are true. You're spending so much money, and sometimes I joke with my friends that not only maybe they're going to the grocery store and they're trying to be diligent on their shopping list, but then in turn, we all still eat out. So we get tempted by eating out, and we have so much food that we're wasting at home. So I have some powerful tips for you when getting ready to go to the grocery store. You definitely have to eat before you go. Have you ever gone when you're hungry and then everything just looks good? You're grabbing the quick food, things that you can even snack on in the car. You're compiling stuff into your cart that you normally wouldn't need if you weren't hungry. So definitely need to eat before you go. Another thing is you want to plan your list. So the ideal is to go once a week. Once a week, get everything you need so you're not making little trips here and there. Plan all of your recipes in advance and make a list for 7 days worth of grocery shopping. That way, not only are you saving time, but you're saving money, because the goal is to stick to the list. So it's one thing to make the list, but then sticking to it. So here's the statistics. If you go to the grocery store without a list, you're going to spend 50% more time in that store than you would without a list. Now, that's time you could be spending with your family, getting other errands done, resting. There's so many other things you could be doing than just spending time in the grocery store. The other statistic is if you go to the grocery store without a list, you're going to spend 75% more than you would if you had the list. That's a tremendous amount of money. So we're actually going to go head over to the grocery store to see what kind of food you guys have sitting in your pantry and in your freezer and how we can help you. Hey, we're at the grocery store. Julie and I are here to go through what hopefully your pantry doesn't look like. But in the event that it does, it's okay because we're going to help you. So Julie, take a pan at this cart really quick. So people like to have options for breakfast, right? But really, we talked about that you don't really necessarily eat breakfast every single day. But you come to the grocery store hungry, without a plan, and now all of a sudden you have oatmeal in your cart. You have 5 different boxes of cereal. Look at how awesome this is, right? These companies are targeting your children by putting Halloween type stuff on there. So this is cereal you totally don't want to be feeding your kids. But now your kids want it because the packaging looks cool. They literally had 5 different boxes packaged just for Halloween up front. You have bread to make French toast, you have eggs, we got the bagels, we have the cream cheese, we got bacon that doesn't even need to be refrigerated, there's sausage, we got 2 different types of Pop-Tarts. Oh, and don't forget, the days that you want to be healthy and you make your health shakes, now we got our reduced sugar, almond milk, and then our frozen our frozen fruit to put in our shakes, and then all of our different flavors of yogurt. Oh my gosh, and this is the best. I used to come to the grocery store hungry all the time, and this was like I couldn't leave without getting this because I knew that, oh, this just looks so good when you're hungry, and how fast you can make it when you get home while you're cooking the other stuff that you're supposed to be that's healthy for you. What else do we have in here? Oh my gosh, we have frozen options like ham and cheese croissant, for when you're on the go. Oh my gosh, and you cannot forget about these Eggos, chocolate chip Eggos. And what I just discovered, it's been a long time since I've shopped the aisles of the grocery store, because one major tip, for your waistline and for your budget is going to be to shop the perimeter of the grocery store. Why? It's healthier, it's less expensive, and it goes bad within a week because you're due to go grocery shopping again. So you'll know that you have to consume all that food that you had. It's been a long time since I've shopped in the center aisles, and I just noticed I went for good old Aunt Jemima for these chocolate chip Eggos and realized that we could have options. Now they have banana syrup and raspberry syrup and all these other flavors. This one just looks like sugary syrup. I don't know, it says Smuckers. I feel like I'm gonna have dessert for breakfast, and maybe we need to go grab some ice cream for our Eggos before we leave. So we're gonna head on down to the freezer section and see if any of those items look familiar to you guys. Hey, we're taking our walk to the freezer section right now, just going down the cracker aisle, and I just realized that you don't know who Julie is, who I just referenced in the other aisle with all of our breakfast options. And she's actually working with me with the Passport. She's filming right now so you guys can have this content, and she's going to be sharing her testimony on the results of changing the eating habits and making the grocery list has impacted her life. But really quick, I just wanted Julie to pan this aisle. Options is what kills us, and there's it took us forever to even find this aisle because there's just endless amounts of crackers and cookies and just so much stuff in the store that you could get lost. We came down here looking for one item and it took us 10 minutes. It's been so time consuming just to find graham crackers because there's just so many options. So we're gonna head on to the freezer section. Okay, we obviously cannot make it to the freezer aisle because we keep getting so distracted. Look at how many options there are in here for toilet paper. Are you kidding me? Now we're having trouble deciding. I know that I should just go with the cheapest option, but there's all this branding and marketing that makes you think you need fluff for your butt, and you really don't. You just need the cheapest toilet paper to get the job done. Only if you're in college. No. So we wanted to get more for you in the freezer section, but we felt like we were being watched and sort of pushed out of the grocery store. I don't think they wanted us filming as long as we were. So unfortunately, I didn't get to pull some more of the freezer items for you guys, but realistically, anything in the freezer section is just a sheer convenience factor, and you're always going to pay more for convenience. Plus, it's not the healthiest. Those things in the freezer are loaded with sodium and preservatives so that they can last longer. So they're just not good for your health, and you're just spending a ton amount more from shopping in any of those aisles. Hi, I just wanted to recap with you what just happened at the grocery store. To make sense of all these kind of numbers that we've been talking about. At the beginning of this video, I shared with you that my husband and I in the past 32 months have paid off over $118,000 worth of debt. And I told you that that began first with what was sitting in our pantry. So here at Passport, we are determined to get you on your next vacation, and we know that the funds are just sitting in your pantry. So when we went over to the grocery store, we saw all the prepackaged foods, the frozen things that are just there for convenience and you're paying for it, and all the options that so many of us just have for breakfast, and just food that just sits there. Without a list and going to the grocery store, you tend to not have inventory of what is actually in your house, and then you just grab things on impulse. So really, my husband and I initially sat down and said, okay, we're gonna print out our credit card statements, our bank statements, anything that we're using, when we're out and about paying for food. And we took a highlighter and went through everything we're spending money on. If it was at the grocery store, if it was eating out, if it was convenience drinks, whatever, all the categories of anything that we were intaking beverage-wise or food-wise. And we were really astounded by the numbers we came across. We realized that we were spending $600 a month on groceries and an additional $300 a month, roughly, on eating out. That's $900 a month. Now, yes, we have to eat, but to be honest, two people don't need to spend $900 a month to eat. We have a baby now that she's 7 months old, so she doesn't really take up much of the food budget still. So I'm just going to run some numbers by you about what we found. We came home after we had went through all of those expenses we were spending and started looking through our pantry, and we started taking inventory of food that was in our pantry, things that were in our fridge, and what was in our freezer. And what we found that really far in the back was all these canned foods that we just picked up, for no reason. Maybe they were going to be used for a recipe and then we just forgot about them, or for a while we were shopping at Costco, so we were buying in bulk, and we don't have a family of 12, so we didn't need to be coming home with crates and crates of all this food, and things would just kind of get pushed to the back. So we had all this canned food like canned tuna, canned salmon, diced tomatoes, corn, beans. I mean, so much you would have thought our house was feeding, I'm not even kidding, a dozen people. So we had all this canned food, but then we had chips and a mix of like snack bars and tons of frozen fruit. I love to make different shakes, and frozen fruit, will last for a long time. So we said, okay, we're going to commit to each other. We're going to see how long it takes us to eat everything out of our pantry, our fridge, and our freezer before we step foot in the grocery store at all. And we kind of put bets on it. How long would it be before we'd go to the grocery store? And we were astounded with the results. Now, I have to be honest. When we first started, it was very fun because there's still things in the house that we like to eat. We got to a point where it does get very bland, and we weren't enjoying the stale chips that we had bought, that we had to keep eating and going through all these other things. But we were just so committed to getting rid of as much debt that we had as possible, as quickly as possible. So we actually didn't go back to the grocery store for 6 months. Our friends and family thought we were crazy, but it took us 6 months. Every time we get down to another week would go by, I'd say, oh, I know there's only 1 week left. There's only 1 week left. Another week would pass, and there was still food in the house. I just could not believe how much food was in here. So 6 months. So for those of you that like numbers, think about this. We were spending $600 a month on our grocery bill. We eliminated that by eating what was in our house for 6 months straight. I'm not even kidding you. This is the truth. So in those 6 months of not going to the grocery store, we saved $3,600. Now what's incredible about that is I wanted to make this video to share with you that I know your next airplane ticket is in your pantry. But let's be honest, $3,600, that's more than airplane tickets for two. I mean, if you have maybe 5 children, maybe that's a different story. 5 children plus 2 adults, maybe you're looking at $3,600. But what we want to share with you today is the concept that we have, our Vassport. We have these brilliant cards that house wholesale travel for a lifetime. So once you access one of our Vassport cards, you're able to go on vacations over and over and over again for your entire life. You're able to share them with friends and family and book on others' behalfs. And what's amazing about our classic package is that this is at a price at $2,000. So the numbers I just shared with you at $3,600, you would be able to not only purchase this to have for a lifetime of travel at our classic level, which is a lot of 3-day, 2-night resort stays in the US, but you'd also have $1,600 towards airfare for you and your family to go on these vacations. Now, if you wanted to look at a little bit longer term, so as I said, the 6 months that we ate just from our pantry, we decided when we went back to the grocery store, we weren't going to make the mistakes we did before. We didn't want to overload our house again with food and then next year find ourselves in the same situation that we just gotten ourselves out of. So we started compiling a grocery list and pulling recipes out of different books and planning what we were going to eat and things that we actually would enjoy after we went through the painful stale chips and all the canned food that I don't ever want to see canned food again, I could tell you that. So we made a grocery list and we started shopping the perimeter of the grocery store. And I naturally, just because things are so much healthier for you, lost weight. We had more energy. We were excited about cooking different things. It was kind of discovering a hidden talent we didn't even know we had, and it's time that we get to spend together cooking and prepping these meals. But in doing that and shopping the perimeter and having a plan, we went to the grocery store and not going to the grocery store hungry, we reduced our grocery bill in half. So we were spending $600 a month prior. Now we're spending on average $300 a month. So then we had 6 months after that first 6 months. I hope I'm not losing you with all my numbers here. So we had saved $3,600 in the first 6 months. And then by going back to the grocery store and only using half of what our budget was before, we saved an additional $1,800 for the next 6 months. So now that totaled us up to $5,400 in that 12-month span of savings from eating out of the pantry and then being conscious about a grocery shopping list and sticking to it. Now what's awesome about $5,400 is you are really, really close to our premier package with Vassport. This package retails for $6,000, but the trips are so much better than even in the Classic. You get everything that's included in the Classic package, but now this starts to have we have more than a dozen cruises. We have international destinations. You get everything that's in the Classic, and now these stays get longer. So now with this package, you're looking at 5 days and 4 nights. So you can not just have a quick getaway, but a little bit longer of a rejuvenation. So now you want to get really crazy with the numbers and start saving money even faster. As I mentioned at the beginning, we were spending $300 a month on eating out. So that could have been a mix of, quick lunches, maybe a dinner date. We don't really do Starbucks, but I know there's other drinks and stuff that we pick up when we go out. I know how many people are drinking Starbucks, because when I drive down the road, I see the lines always backed out, into the street. But if you were to eliminate your eating out bill, now some people's are dramatically higher than $300 a month. I know some of you watching are much higher than $300, and maybe you're lower, but this is an average, and that's what we found that we were spending. So $300 a month over the year is an additional $3,600 on top of your grocery bill. And let's be honest, you go to the grocery store because you think you need all this food on hand, and then you end up throwing so much of it out because you're going to eat out anyways. So in turn, you're just throwing money in the garbage and then putting essentially crap in your body from eating out so often. So when we looked at this, we're like, okay, we're going to eliminate the $300 a month from eating out over the course of a year. We were able to save an additional $3,600. So that, in combined for the year with our grocery bill, eating out of the pantry for 6 months, and then cutting our grocery bill in half for the back half of the year for the 6 months, we saved $9,000 in the year. And it's not like we're starving, we're still, eating. And what's incredible about being able to save $9,000 is we didn't have to do anything different. Meaning we didn't have to go out and get a part-time job to bring in an additional $9,000. We didn't have to work more hours to bring this in. This was already something that we had complete control over. The income doesn't have to change, the planning just has to change. Spending the time to write the list and meal prep. So with $9,000, you're starting to step up into the bracket of our international package. This package is by far and away the most impressive package that you could have to travel wholesale for the rest of your life for you and your family. This is also a willable entity. So when you have a package with us, you can leave this to your children and pass it on. This is a true membership for life. It's not just a one person's lifetime membership. It can be passed down. And what's incredible about the international is it includes the classic, it includes the premier, and then it unlocks every country in the world for travel. The stays get longer. Now you're looking at 8-day, 7-night stays. There's 14-night stays. There's access to wholesaler websites and so many perks that this package is just phenomenal. My husband and I have had it for about a year and a half. We've been able to travel all over the world on a regular basis. We tend to travel quite frequently. We at least like to do 4 trips a year, which is unlike what most people are able to do, just because we invested in being able to target and find resources to get wholesale travel, got serious about our food budget, and realized, hey, we want a vacation to lay on the beach more than we want to eat those frozen pizzas and all that convenience food. And plus, you want to be in a bathing suit when you're feeling better about yourself and you've lost weight from eating healthier. So there's so many reasons why this can benefit your life tremendously. And I hope that you found value from us sharing over at the grocery store with you today, and that you're able to implement some of these things. If you have any questions, there's more information over at vastport.com. You can also visit us and like us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/thevastport. And then we also have a direct number. If you're watching this video and you have questions and you're really excited about getting serious about this and moving forward, and you have some questions for us, you can reach us at 312-330-5105. Again, that's 312-330-5105. And we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have and help you start saving money so that you're able to start traveling. And I'm very excited because what you're going to see next is Julie, who's at the grocery store with me. You didn't get to see her because she was filming everything as we were going through. But she's actually going to share with you a quick testimony on what this information has done for her, and I'm excited for you to hear it.
Hi, I'm Julie from Vastport. I'm a single mom of a beautiful 5-year-old daughter, Jasmine, and I found this information very helpful. Well, prior to hearing this information, when I went to the grocery store, we spent way too much money. At the end of the week, we were throwing away a lot of food, which was just not good at all. So what I noticed, the biggest change that I made when we took this information to heart was we had like 15 options for breakfast in our fridge and in our pantry. Whether it's waffles, eggs, ham, sausage, bacon, 5 boxes of cereal, pancake mix, you name it. That's not even necessary considering we don't even eat breakfast every day.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come to the grocery store with us. We hope you learned something valuable today so that you can make changes and truly find your airplane ticket in your pantry. It's so easy to have 16 options for breakfast. It's so easy to just go through the grocery store and grab whatever looks good and overbuy because you haven't taken inventory of what you have at home. But I hope you were able to learn something from the mistakes that I've made, the changes that Julie's been able to make with this program so that we can get you on your next vacation as soon as possible. So I want you to watch out for Nicole's video coming this Monday. She's going to be sharing some more travel tips, useful information that you may not know to make your traveling adventures easier. And I'll be back next Thursday at 7 p.m. and I'm going to share with you how your next vacation is in your cell phone bill. I know so many people are overpaying for their cell phone bill. It's a necessity that we must have, but I'm going to teach you ways that you can actually eliminate that bill up to 50% and show you ways that you're going to be able to get it for free. Now, most people on average are spending about $100 a month on their cell phone bill. That'd be $1,200 a year that we're going to show you how to put right back into your pocket next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. So if you have any feedback from this video, I'd love to hear it. Whether you have questions or concerns or anything that you want more information on, I'd love to hear back from you so that we can share that information with you and help you saving money faster. I'll see you next week. Danielle with the Passport. Have a great weekend, guys.